people being upset about jokes that were told at this roast was racist. Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's racial. Of course it is.
Yeah.
But when we're looking at you guys say things, then they say, well, it opens the door to this. But Paul Mooney used to walk white people out of Carolina.
I used to watch Paul at Caroline's. That was one of the most unique comedy experiences.
Yes.
Because Paul would get these white women. It was also the women. He would get them in their feelings. But Paul would say wild shit, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But he was hilarious.
And it was well written.
He had
well
a pen,
constructed. That's right.
But it was wild.
Jackie Mason.
Yeah, Jackie.
People don't understand. So, and I'm not giving cover to racism. What I'm saying is, don't get mad, get motivated. If you're mad about this, then be mad that farmers are now losing their farms in these red states. Be mad that 300,000 women lost a job.
But they're not gonna do that because there's no clicks or virtue signaling or white knighting based on that. There's no pats on the back based on that.
Well, here's your problem though. Yeah. So you want to talk about a roast that we did with an expectation of us being superheroes, but you go to your job every day and Bob from accounting tells the worst jokes in the world, but you ain't did shit to Bob from accounting. But you want us to stand up. If you and I were on the dais, we were supposed to slap Tony, right?
They wanted us to.
Well, here's the problem. I need you to go to your job and slap the motherfucker that's telling me that. Am I right? If that's what you want, if we throwing hands, if that's what you're doing.
We were talking about this on the pod. It was an interesting thing because, like, I think a lot of the outrage maybe came from, this was huge all over social.
Yes.
And when you're looking at like your friends' pictures of their kids and vacations, and then all of a sudden this joke pops up on your screen that you didn't really elect to watch. It's just kind of thrown in your face. And you're like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
Right.
When you're at home and you choose to click on the roast of Kevin Hart,
that's right,
knowing it's gonna be wild.
Right.
I don't know if people had that much of a reaction. There may be moments where they're like, ooh, that joke was harsh, or ooh, or do these people really not like each other?
Yeah, because I was even like, damn. I was like, what? But they didn't want us to know what people were saying.
Which I think is better.
Right. It's a reaction.
Yeah.
It's a reaction. But then people are like criticizing us, saying, well, you sat there and you laughed at it. Well, first, somebody had to clear that joke. So what I'm thinking is, who cleared the joke? So if you cleared the joke, then that's the type of humor we going with, whether it was funny or not funny. But on the same token, it is a roast.
That's the thing. People got to understand, a roast is different than a stand-up act.
That's right.
And Mark, you had a great way of describing this, where you were like, it's like seeing a street fight can be like brutally violent.
Yeah.
But then seeing a UFC fight where you know this is the point of what these guys are doing and they all signed up for it can still be brutally violent, but it's a little bit more digestible.
Yes, it's digestible.
It's contextualized. But at the same time, if you're scrolling at 8 a.m. and like you're having breakfast with your kid and
you see this?
And then you see a guy getting punched in the face 10 times, you're like, this is so violent.
Exactly.
Why does anyone watch this? But it's being pushed onto you.
It's
Exactly.
the algorithm.
Yeah.
So if what I said to everybody, I'm not going to get all these interviews right, and I'm going to come to my thoughts. But here's the thing. Radio stations, everybody that's arguing, DL and Big J going back and forward with each other.
Yeah, I'm like, why?
Well, but here's the thing, though. Listen, they giving as good as they got. When they put up Big J, the meme of Big J as Roseanne, it was hilarious. It made me laugh. It was hilarious, right? But then when they pulling up DL's old stuff, which I would never do that. That's right. That's right. Okay, that's comics. That's
because comics were not perfect, man. Especially if we're talking on a podcast or like a talk show for 10 years, we're gonna say some wild shit.
That's right.
That is gonna present ourselves as hypocritical if we're white knighting about something. If we're trying
and we are
to
hypocritical.
Yeah.
Because we evolve in that state. But you doing radio, time spent listening. So you're arguing about this, you're talking about this. Hey, when we come back, Dr. Such and Such is going to talk about his reasons why the roast was not applicable. Da, 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 da. Okay, it's time spent listening. It's advertisement. Now people that didn't have Netflix now got Netflix.
Right.
People that didn't see the roast now watching. So something that had 13.8 now has 15.
Oh, they told me the roast numbers for Kevin Hart were fantastic.
Yes, it's big. But you know what? I thought the genius was you put what looked like an attack upon a black female comic up against the manosphere. So if you love Sheryl Underwood and you're watching them beat her down, right?
Yeah.
Now you're like, Sheryl, do something, do something, and did something. That's right. If you say anything that sound like, you will not make it out of Inglewood alive.
I love
a rut. This is the motherfucking forum. Built by the Showtime Lakers. You will respect us in this house. So for me, I felt that God sent me, and I was produced to deliver for everybody that thought what was being said was inappropriate.
So God sent you to call Shane a retard.
I believe it because I asked them. No, I asked them.
Give me the words. Give me the words.
And to shape it, to be able to listen. I'm not talking about you, Kevin, as the midget, but I'm talking about you, Shane, as the retard. But also that January 6th joke. Now that was written, and I said, that's the one I want. Because I asked Nikki, I said, Nikki, give me some pointers. Now, this is two female comics talking to each other, right? Well, we're supposed to be mortal enemies. White woman, right? Black woman. We're supposed to be mortal enemies, right?
Are you?
No. Well, society will want us to be mortal enemies.
Oh, really?
Chelsea Handler, she comes to me at the brunch, and she says, listen, I'm not coming for you. I said, listen, I got a couple on you, but they're not bad, you know? So we're talking. But that's camaraderie, right? Yeah. So when Nikki says, tell them to give you the hardest stuff. So some of the stuff they sent, I said, that don't even sound like me. No. I said, give me something. We want to make this a great roast.
Yes.
We want to do Kevin proud, right? And for Kevin to say, Sheryl, I want you to do what you do. And then for my team to go, here's what you need. Here's where you are at your best. And then I'm feeling the audience. Because some of the jokes, the audience didn't like. Some of the jokes, they liked, but they didn't know why they liked it. And then also, Hollywood is jaded. California is jaded. So they not laughing like if we was in Kentucky and they slapping them and we having a good time. But then I thought,
nah, you got them moving.
Yeah, speak to the room. Speak to the room.
Oh, you're saying earlier in the roast maybe they weren't really cooked. Because when you were up there, I thought they were standing up. They looked great.
Well, I did not, and you know, it's kind of out of body experience because I didn't realize what was happening. What I felt was, okay, Sheryl, nobody's getting up because I'm listening, and nobody's saying, answer them back, let them know. You ain't saying nothing but a motherfucking word. Where the fuck you think you at? You know, this is a roast of Kevin Hart. We still black up in this motherfucker. Right? So when you were watching it, what were you thinking?
I think my biggest takeaway was that it felt like there was some animosity between some of the comics that went up.
Yes.
Like, that's why I think it felt a little bit different. Like other roasts, it's like, oh, we all like each other, so there's more love here. But it seemed like there was some people that went up that actually didn't like each other. So that's why some of the jokes was like, ooh.
But to me, what I felt, and really, I did talk to God. I said, listen, I'm up here with my colleagues. These are gentlemen that I'm trying to get to know. That I need to understand what is comedy right now. This is what comedy is right now. So Sheryl, if you're in this game, you better figure out what it is right now. But then I thought, oh, wait a minute. Because I used to say, oh, fade, cracker, peckerwood. One of my first jokes that I wrote, what go good with chili? Crackers. Now that you mentioned white people, let's talk about their motherfucking ass. Or why do you carry your personal stage? Because white folks steal. Any race of people take land from the Indians and sure enough take $2 or $3 out your purse. So those are jokes I'm telling because I'm trying to express the history of this country, right? But then if you get to do comedy long enough, you evolve into something else. Shane will evolve. Tony will evolve. But if we work together, just think of the type of movies we can make. We could recreate Smokey and the Bandit. I told Shane, I said, we need to redo Smokey and the Bandit. You be Burt Reynolds, and I'll be Jerry Reed. You know, redo Cannonball Run. Let's get together. All of us as comics should be working on content together so we can keep American humor alive and we can pay our bills and our mortgages and do things for our foundations. Because do you have a foundation?
I have a foundation I work with, not my personal one. It's not my personal one.
But wouldn't it be great if we all got together and it wasn't just Netflix roasting somebody? How about we roast to benefit something? We're good enough that we can roast to benefit something. We can still hit somebody, not as hardcore. Because Netflix, I think, that's why I said free speech is alive and well, and I thank you, Netflix.
Yeah.
Why? Because I think people push too far into political correctness, the pronouns and stuff. So people got mad because I got to call you a pronoun. You know, like I do transgender. I'm supposed to be transphobic. I'm supposed to be homophobic. And I do all of this in my show where I talk about these things that I'm supposed to be. But you won't get to know me and understand I'm not against you. Just because I'm pro-me don't mean I'm against you. But some of these things, I just can't. Why are we agreeing with? Why can't we talk about it? And that's how I looked at me participating in this roast.